Hello everyone, it's Julie from sproutsandstems.com here, and today's video is going to be a Peperomia caperata, aka Ripple Peperomia care guide. So before I get into that, please take 2 seconds to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any new planty content from me, and any plants or supplies that I mention in my videos can be found in the video description. Also, in the video description, I'm not going to be discussing Peperomia propagation today, but I will link to a blog post slash video tutorial of Peperomia propagation if you're interested in that. And now I'll get into the video. I've got kind of like a ponytail palm halo over here. It's an interesting look. It's another early morning video for me. Last video in this apartment before moving, so I'll be moving all of these plants over in the next few days. Peperomia caperata, Ripple Peperomia, a plant that I don't currently have in my collection, but don't worry, I have plenty of photo specimens. I used to have a red Ripple Peperomia. It was a perfectly cute little plant. I don't know if I would call it beginner friendly, but I would say it's like easy to moderate in terms of like care difficulty. There are also plenty of cultivars to choose from. As I just said, there's the red ripple, there's the emerald, there's the Peperomia frost, which is super cute. It looks like it has a layer of like a light, the first frost of the season covering the leaves. So for light, this Peperomia wants moderate to bright light. So I wouldn't necessarily call it a low light plant, but it can do well if you don't have like the brightest of light available. And then of course no direct light, because direct light can burn the leaves. And for water, you don't want to totally dry out. You can water them when they're about an inch or so down into the soil. So you should always be feeling the soil and not going off of watering frequency in your head. Just feel so that you know for sure if your plant has to be watered. Peperomias are known to be filled with water, their stems and leaves, and they can be a little bit dramatic when they get too dry because they lose that water, some more than others. I would say the Peperomia caperata is very dramatic when it gets too dry. There have been times in the past where I went a little too long without watering and the Peperomia was just like flat. The stem coming out of the pot, it was just like but once you water it, it should perk back up again, providing it hasn't been too long. Average humidity is fine. They will be happy if you can provide higher humidity, but it's not a plant that relies heavily on humidity. Now, peperomias are epiphytes, or most of them are, which means they grow on trees. Here's like a tree. Pretend this is the trunk. And then here's a branch. They kind of grow, epiphytes grow along like the little crooks and like nooks and crannies of tree trunks and branches. That means they're not packed tightly into the soil and the ground. That means they're just kind of growing in debris and loose organic matter. So a loose, just well-draining, well-aerated potting mix would work really well for the Ripple Peperomia. You could get just a regular houseplant potting mix and mix it 1-to-1-to-1 ratio of perlite and orchid bark just to kind of loosen things up a little bit. You could do just potting mix and perlite 1-to-1 ratio. Honestly, start with your normal houseplant potting mix base and just add in a handful or two of perlite until you get that just like a loose consistency. I never really work with an exact science. I know there are better ways of doing it, but that's just me when it comes to potting mix. Now for repotting, peperomias have famously delicate, dainty root systems, so they're not plants that typically need to be repotted too often. Every other year, you want to replace the potting mix in the pot just to give it some like fresh nutrients. But you might not even have to go up in pot size. You could just literally replace the potting mix. It's going to be a while before your peperomia gets root bound, but if it is, you'll typically see like stunted growth. You'll have to water it a lot more frequently because all those roots are taking up space in the pot and there's not a lot of potting medium left to like hold on to the water. So the water just all kind of like runs through. You'll have to be watering it a lot more often. It won't be growing as much and it'll just look unhappy and it'll probably look like it's too big for its current pot. So if you notice that your plant's unhappy, then you probably want to go up one pot size and always make sure to have a drainage hole. Now for fertilizing, you can just use a regular houseplant fertilizer once a month during the growing season, which is the spring and summer. Poking me. And then last but not least, I wanted to mention flower spikes because, and you'll see in some of the pictures that I show, you can see examples of flower spikes. Peperomias, at least in my experience, grow flower spikes pretty easily. And if you've never seen them before, it might be kind of jarring. You might be wondering like, what the heck is that? What do I do with it? You can cut them off just like at the base of the spike. If there's a lot, they can suck away energy from the rest of the plant. So if I get like a lot of flower spikes in my peperomia, I will be cutting them off. But if there's only like one or two, it's not going to be detrimental to the plant. So if you like the look of them, you can leave them on or you can cut them off. Oops, sorry. It's up to you. All right, so that was my Peperomia caperata Ripple Peperomia care guide. Let me know in the comments, are you a Ripple Peperomia fan? They've got a very unique look for sure. I think they make a fun addition to any plant collection. All right, I'm gonna go get some coffee. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you guys next time.